Okay, so the highly anticipated new series from the same author as Katekyo Hitman Reborn has finally been animated. elDLIVE, it's a really complicated name to pronounce. I don't know why. It's just like the way it's spelled or whatever is weird. It's basically, to give you a brief synopsis of the premise from episode 1, basically without getting into too much spoilers. Main character Kokonose Chuta or Chota, something along the lines of that. Again, the names in this one, I don't know why they're so annoying to pronounce. Basically, he's an average kid, and if you've seen Katekyo Hitman Reborn, no joke, the character is almost identical in personality and just about everything you could think of to the main character of Katekyo Hitman Reborn. He is essentially Tsunayoshi Sawada. Like, he's very timid, he freaks out about anything. There's just an extra quirk about this guy, and that's that he has this voice in his head that talks to him throughout the first episode at the very least. It's like, he doesn't know why, but he constantly talks to himself when people are like, what the hell's wrong with him? He's weird, and essentially that's his character, but he's basically like Tsunayoshi Sawada from Katekyo Hitman Reborn. So if you've seen Katekyo Hitman Reborn, he's a carbon copy, the main character of elDLIVE. He's just like Tsuna. And basically one thing leads to another, and he's in this weird space police, and he's essentially, I guess, joining the space police, something along the lines of that. Like, honestly, for this first episode, I'll mention some of the positives about it. I thought the art and animation was good. I liked the style and them kind of being a little bit different. It kind of reminded me in a way of like Shaft, the way they had like transitions and things like that. So it kind of looked really pretty. Like the colors and the character designs, Akira Amano's character designs were pretty damn cool because that's her defined style. So the character designs, like the aesthetics, the music, the voices, all of that stuff was cool. But that's pretty much for the most part where it ends as far as it, you know, being really awesome, because honestly for a first episode it felt as though, and maybe I'm mistaken because again I know that this was irregularly released in Shonen Jump Plus, so I don't know how they, you know, model their manga and what the pacing is like, but it felt as though for this first episode it was really fast pacing. It felt as though like this could have been spread out over a couple episodes, or at the very least the way they handled it, maybe they should have showed a little bit of the slice of life. Like honestly I don't really know how they could have changed this, but it just felt like it was very fast from like the beginning of the episode. It's like, oh, we have the slice of life, then we have this sad backstory that we don't really know shit about regarding the main character, and he's a space police with a lot of wacky stuff. Like, I'll give credit as well that the wackiness had me like, what the fuck, am I on shrooms right now? Like a talking moon, a tentacle monster, gotta have the tentacle monster. It was just really fucking bizarre. But I mean, like, honestly, this first episode at the very least, it really didn't break the mold. It really didn't, you know, establish itself in such a unique way like several other, you know, shonen anime series have done in the past, you know, like a Blue Exorcist or any other series. It really didn't deliver like what it felt like it was trying to do. It was trying to accomplish like showing the character's life, and then towards the end how it flipped upside down. I like to take a minute, just no, it seems as though it just was kind of like showcasing that, and then, oh, he's a space police and he's involved in this crazy organization or whatever. I think they did a decent job at kind of keeping it under wraps that that girl that he had a crush on was kind of a part of the alien stuff. Like, it wasn't until maybe I want to say 3/4 of the way into the episode that I started to get suspicious about it, because she was a total bitch. But then again, it was kind of like, okay, she's super tsundere. That's just what I thought of it. She's super tsundere, and that's why she was acting that way when she told him basically, you're a fucking perv, like you should just die or whatever. So it was kind of like, they did a decent job of making her just look super tsundere, but ultimately, yeah, towards the end of the episode before the reveal, I was kind of already on point about her. And of course, Saotomi Sensei, which, oh my god, they had like, whoa, the bitch had watermelons in her chest. But yeah, you know, the whole revelation of her being the alien, that was very predictable after a certain point in the episode as well. So it really just wasn't breaking the mold for me. Like, honestly, as slow as Katekyo Hitman Reborn, again, the series from the same creator, her last work, was for the beginning, because it did do the slice of life comedy stuff, at the very least, when you go into Katekyo Hitman Reborn, as long as you know that it starts off comedic, then it feels as though, okay, that's the purpose of those episodes. But the problem with this one is that, first of all, of course, again, like I mentioned, the main character, he's very similar to the main character of Reborn, so it's like nothing new there. But also, it seems as though it was like trying to mix this wackiness and, you know, this kind of weird life of this kid that talks to himself with the fantastical elements all in one episode, and it really didn't mesh well. It felt as though they were trying to almost go after two demographics, because it gives you like a ton of information, so you would think, okay, they're trying to do world building and get maybe like a teenage audience at the very least, but then it also felt like it was trying to be simple enough for kids, but it just didn't really mesh well for me. I felt as though it was like there's too much information for kids to enjoy, and it's kind of too wacky and childlike for somebody like like my age or even, you know, a teenager to completely immerse themselves in as well. So for the first episode, honestly, I want to say at best, I would give it an average start. Definitely didn't wow me or impress me. Like, I would honestly even argue that a series like World Trigger probably had a better start for the anime, not the production qualities, because that's a whole different topic. But as far as the content we got in the episode, I mean, it was just like he's with a fucking broom looking like he's dancing because, again, he keeps talking to himself, and then ultimately next thing you know, he's in space. It's like, what? And then the reveal of what was inside of him, that alien looking thing, for starters, what the fuck? Why the hell did it look like he had a giant fucking cat dick coming out? Like, I don't even want to get into that right now. But yeah, I don't know, like, didn't wow me, like I said before. It just was kind of like, it happened. So at best, I would say average. At worst, I would say slightly bad. It wasn't horrible. Again, the production values were pretty high, but a friend of mine gave me a great reference and kind of analogy of what it was. Essentially, if the production quality is like, you know, a 10 out of 10 and all that good stuff, but you're putting like $1 million towards a twerk video, essentially it's a really good looking twerk video. Not that that was a twerk video or whatever, because again, I think somebody that's fresh into shonen and really hasn't watched or read much anime or manga might be able to get a kick out of this. But if you've seen a couple of different shonen series or a couple of different anime and manga in general, you might not be impressed with this one. So I'm gonna say, to be fair, I'm going to give it between a 4 and a 5 for the first episode. Maybe give it a 5 for an average start, because again, the production quality was there. The character designs look cool and all that good stuff. And I mean, for what it was worth, some of the comedy stuff was funny, but in essence, it wasn't inherently funny as far as like its intention. It was more so like, this is so fucking dumb. What am I watching? But let me know what you guys think. A lot of people were waiting for this because, again, it's from the same creator as Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? What did you think of the first episode? Did it live up to your expectations? Do you think it was too much like the main character being just like Tsunayoshi Sawada? I mean, they had a reference to Katekyo Hitman Reborn, which was kind of neat. I like the fact that it may possibly dwell within the same world as Katekyo Hitman Reborn, because they had the reference of, word is it that the new leader of the Italian mob is a Japanese man. So I thought that was a nice little reference there. Maybe this could be the future of the Reborn world. Who knows? Any overall thoughts of this? If you haven't checked it out, again, if you've seen already, like, you know, a handful of shonen anime and manga, you probably ain't gonna want to check this one out, and you're really not missing out on much. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.